What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology retold action. In the right-hand corner of the map, weighing in at, well, I've actually met him. He's probably around about, average weight. He's about as tall as me, so around about that 6 foot. He's got a nasty moustache, like in a good way. And he is the chillest dude you'll ever meet. His name is the Italian Stallion Matrius, and he is going to be playing some Odin for us in this first game of the Husk Soup versus Matrius playoffs here. We are in the losers bracket, and I already introduced him, but just to remind everyone, biggest brain in Age of Mythology. He's the man who brought you the Kronos Rush. He's the man who brought you how I got #1 with Loki on the ladder. And he is the man who is here today to show everyone the metal that he is made of. And yes, he's going to be playing Loki. So we've got our Norse mirror here to kick this series off. It's a 5-game series still. I believe after this round, we do go into best of 7s, which is where things start getting very, very long, tricky, and silly. But we'll see how things are going to go here. As Matrius, with the Odin here in this matchup, does have a slight advantage. The advantage is he has got effectively all the map, because he's going to be able to get himself raiding cavalry out and try and choke the Loki player here has got a little bit less early game sort of stuff. Now, what Soup could do is he could wander up here and start eating these Aurochs nice and early. I recommend this here for Loki. I think Loki needs to be eating Hunt outside his main base at the start and get as much of this as he possibly can, because unless Soup is going for something different that I haven't seen before, you basically are going to be playing a turtle game here. As Loki, you're basically going to be sitting inside your main base. In fact, what is Soup doing? He hasn't built it. He's only now just getting himself dwarves out. He's only now just getting dwarves out. This is like kind of unheard of. Oh, the villager though. No. You hate to see it. Auroch goes down there. Has to build an ox out. Not the biggest deals, but wait, what did he buy? He didn't get anything. Did he get an extra berserk? He's already got a Hersir out. He's got a second berserk. No, he's got 2 Hersir out. He has 2 Hersir before even clicking advance here. He says, guys, I don't know if you heard. Advancing to the classical age, that's stupid. Why go to the classical age when you could just stay in the archaic age forever and just take all the relics on the map? I have Ornlu coming through. We see the Raven coming in. A little cheeky spy into the main base here. What relics does he found? He's got himself Text of Imhotep. Nice one. He's also got himself Scales of Catopopas. Not the most useful, but it will be good against those. No, not the trolls. It's not going to be good against much. But nonetheless, the Valkyrie here for Matrius is going to make its way directly over here. Goat's getting sent back home. Hersir searching for the Eye of Ornlu. Will find it. A Berserk over here as well, checking things out. The villagers need to pull back into the main base here. Heimdall now on the way, as late can be. But the problem, so to speak, for Soup coming in onto this one is going to be what? Well, one, he's about to take a little bit of damage here, but it's not very much. He's still way, way in front on villager gather time, total villager gather time, because of how late he is advanced. But obviously here, Matrius is catching up on that. You can see he's behind on the villagers by a little bit. That's kind of how you can calculate this whole thing. As the Valkyrie. The Valkyrie is dancing. He says, I want these goats. Give me the goats. I want the goats. He's got them. He's stolen them. The thief. Now houses are going to start coming in. The ironry on its way now. Is there any forward buildings? No, but the house is going to go down. So it is going to be Heimdall versus Freya. Already going up for the watchtowers here. You have to remember, because Suppe is advanced so late here, I'm pretty sure he's basically... I don't actually know how much later. It's 5 minutes. So I think it's over a minute that he advanced slower than Matrius. So these watchtowers have basically been paid off by doing that. He's now going up for Rigsthula. In the main base here for Matrius, he's gone Longhouse, Great Hall. Another house going to be coming down the spy on this thing as well here, as those raiding cavalry are going to be searching for something to do. But unfortunately for Matrius, there's just not a whole lot he can do. Now, one idea here for Suppe is to say, oh, I know. You're going to go for a whole bunch of raiding cavalry. I don't have to worry about them. So I can just get Safeguard. I can get Crenellations. And we can start just saying, okay, we grab the town center. We're going to put some towers down for nice and cheap on this position. And that'll force Matrius to have to play a very, very different game. There's another Great Hall going to be coming up onto this position here. Suppe now finished up on the Aurochs. We'll have to move over onto the chickens here. If he wants to come over on... I mean, there's wolves over here. That's not going to be that much of a help there. There is still forest fire available. So if he can get in onto something, that could be a way to go. It's looking kind of like he's trying to get to the heroic age. So a couple of raiding cavalry are coming out. Walls to come down as well. In the main base here for Matrius, he's grabbing a town center. So this makes some sense. Suppe turtling up. But the thing that's kind of scary here now for Matrius is if Suppe continues this line, stops building units, goes heroic age, he can just walk forward, get Walking Woods, plant a hill fort down, and then he can just completely blow through this position. Would probably be the idea here. And then he can follow that up with going to the Mythic age to Nidhogg, and then just killing a whole bunch of villages. It'll probably be your main goal here for Loki, is to get Mythic age considerably faster than what the Odin can do. Now, another route would be to understand that this is a town center coming up, and then just wander forward and take this town center over here, or take this town center over here, no problems. But I guess the problem here for Suppe is he really, really wants food. He's now going to be wandering up to the top side of the map here. Still has got no idea what Matrius is doing here. If we take a look, he hasn't seen the town center. He doesn't know. Walls over here, trying to go down, but not going to be able to do a whole lot there with the watchtowers up. So he has to run away. Well, the town center is now up for Matrius. And the big thing, I guess, about the town center here is... wait, I mean... Is this how math works? Rigsthula ninja buffed in this patch as well, with all the villagers going up in train time. The amount of benefit you get is even more. Can someone tell me in the chat if I'm crazy there? I think it might be true. I think this Undermine might have gotten ninja buffed in this patch as well. Anyways, what I was going to say is a second talent center takes a much longer time in this patch to pay itself off. So you get a lot of opportunity to get things done here. As Eyes in the Forest is coming in, this technology is really, really big for the raiding cavalry raids. Apparently very small because Rigsthula takes less villagers, or villager training to... I don't think that really changes much. It's just the same. That didn't change at all. Maybe. I don't know. Longhouse comes down. Suppe, walls up everywhere. The villager advantage now shifting into Matrius's favor. With Rigsthula, even grabbing the town center a touch late here is going to be completely fine for Suppe, but he doesn't know that it's up at the moment. Walls coming up all over the place. As Matrius is more than happy to play this defensive game. One thing that we haven't really talked about or touched on is the effectiveness of Ragnarok in this patch. Now you might go, well, buildings were buffed to the 9s here. It's really, really hard to make Ragnarok work. Yes, that's 100% true, but so long as you get out 5, 6, 7-ish rams before you click Ragnarok, you can break through everything with all of that extra stuff because it did get buffed. You need those rams. Why am I hiding from you? That's a great question. Let me unhide from you. Wow, I'm back! Well, time to be alive. Hello there. Soup trying to charge forward, but the Herdman already there to say, get out of here. Bragi coming through and Skadi coming through here. Both players ignoring the utility, the strength of Njord here as well. A Soup, does he know? He still doesn't know that this town center is up. He's got this spy over here. I mean, he has to know something's up here. Like, there's no reason for Matrius to pull back off and go for full defense, right? Soup's spamming out units, ready to start charging in. Matrius hits the heroic age there through Skadi, and now Soup goes, ooh, what do we do? He's charging in now, trying to take out the temple. Military differential, slightly favoring Soup at the moment. But Matrius probably can just drop a hill fort. There is going to be access to an undermine, so he's got to be a little bit careful to actually complete it first and foremost, as he's going to be dropping it down. This is right on the spied villager, though. Soup can use his undermine to break the wooden wall and stop the hill fort. Is he going to go for it or not is the big question, though. Taking down the longhouse. He does see it. Yes, he does. And he's going to go straight through the hill fort. Finish that one off. The undermine should then continue all the way through to break the wall down. And now Matrius needs to pull back here. He's got a gold mine on the bottom side of the map, though. That's going to be an option for him. He still has the town center over there. A couple of gatherers on that position. But this is a huge timing now for Soup in this position. Undermine as well. 2 minutes of recharge. He's got the 50 favor for another one if need be, as the units here getting chased down, losing a lot. Forest fire to disengage there. Soup says, okay, fantastic. I'll pull back. We'll get something going another time, as the hill fort coming up onto this position, but that spy is still there. Soup now can pull back, swing around, get into this position and try and make it work here. He's still got only a very slight amount of advantage here in terms of economy. It's not there at all, but the military is huge. So this is a waiting game to some degree for Matrius. He just has to get back, defend, and he could be okay. One idea here for Soup is to just say, all right, I'm going to drop a hill fort here now to lock this position or get himself towers. Does he have safeguard? He doesn't have safeguard. He could drop safeguard right away and try and make this happen. But the other option is just spam out myth units and say go. And then when the frost will inevitably have to come down for Matrius, then you say, great. Now we click flaming weapons. As Soup says, all right, let's just go straight after the town center for the time being. And we'll see if he can make it happen. He gets himself a troll spawn here. Matrius holding nicely for the time being. Units are falling pretty quickly here. That battle ball going to town onto this spot. Frost does get dropped down, but it only gets dropped onto half of the units, as Matrius wants to get some kills happening while this is all going on. Matrius' hill fort is helping out on this fight as well, getting a huge amount of value, cleaning up those raiding cavalry over there. Soup's population has dropped down to 90 at the moment. He's starting to make some Ulf Jarls, some legendary Jarls, some Ulf Jarls at the moment. Gets a Frost Giant spawn, immediately tasks it onto the Frost Giant of Matrius here. As the battle board's continuing to come through, Matrius is down to 24 military. Soup has still got himself 90 military of ridiculous amounts of pressure here. The Frost Giant going to be going down, and Soup here ready to start breaking through. This one gold mine isn't just it for Matrius, though. Matrius is on the top gold mine. He's moving into the center to sneak this gold mine. He could come over here and sneak this one. He's got to be very, very careful with these villagers, though. A couple of them get caught out. Soup sees it, chasing them down. He's got a couple of raiding cavalry and Jarls in to cause a lot of problems. Next move here is to come over and just clean up that hill fort. As Soup probably, does he know this is up here? He does. No, it's up here. He's got these up as well. We're seeing great hauls come through. Units falling. There is still a villager lead for Matrius, but it's not very big. It's not enough to make up for the 3,000 military differential. At the moment, these units here, villagers just chilling on this spot. Soup just needs to look at the mini-map, and he will notice it. But a return raid over here, and Soup very smartly just says, all right, calmly says, I'll sack 3 villagers to kill off 3 raiding cavalry and get myself some more military here, no problems. Now he says, time to just grab the center. This is mine now. He's still just allowing these villagers to be there as he's cleaning up all of this. A little bit too much distraction action from Matrius as he's trying to get into what he does well, which is raiding with those cavalry units. Meanwhile, over onto this side, Frost Giants getting some value here. No bonus against Smith units for the Deuterinos, but there are a whole bunch of Goaty here as well. As the raiding cavalry going to go down. Frost Giants going to go down as well. The military advantage has dropped a little bit here, but I don't think it's going to be enough, as these units will move up and start taking out the dwarves on this position. Up onto this side as well. Soup could go for a side build for some berserks and just start spamming them in onto this gold mine as well. Matrius trying to spam out everything. He's got 1,000 wood in the bank ready for some sort of farms, but it's too little too late. He says he's too far behind and he's going to tap out as Soup, doing what Soup does best, dives into his bag of tricks and says, hey, what you going to do? We've got a 5-minute advance coming your way. What are you going to do about it? And Matrius just could not quite work it out. 343 from Matrius versus a 454 from Soup. Resource-wise, that's probably 1, 2, 3, 4. That's probably a 4 villager differential. So we're talking about, I don't know the exact math anymore. It used to be 60. Is it still 60 resources per villager? I think it's still 60 resources per villager. So that's like a 240 resource advantage right at the start of the game for just the fact they didn't go there. So Matrius did a little bit of damage with the Valk, but just idle time. It wasn't enough to sort of equalize or anything like that. If we take a quick look at the actual impact of this, you can see Soup, he's behind, he's in front, and it ends up being just a slight advantage for him, but that's more than enough because realistically, Odin's got the advantage. Odin gets a faster gather rate. So if you're in front with Loki, you're laughing. So add this one to the bag of tricks that you got to have to deal with. This is a really, really interesting idea from Soup. The only thing I would have liked to see even more is him maybe coming out onto the Aurochs a little early to take that late advance. Anyways, let's get into game number 2 and we'll see how it goes. Alrighty, into game number 2, as in the left-hand corner of the map, spawning as the Ra. His name is Matrius. As I fix everything up here and we're good to go. On the right-hand corner of the map, playing as Nuwa, his name is Soup. Alrighty, I forgot to do the thing, so I'll do the thing. I'll give you guys the thing, and we'll just do the thing, and then bam, 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 bam. Off to the races. Here you guys go. Everyone loves a good gamble, so please start gambling. So we do see Soup on the right-hand corner here with the Nuwa. Nuwa versus Ra. He did try a little bit of the kind of crazy shenanigans yesterday against Kavoth. It didn't work out. He went for a villager rush. Well, a tower rush, to be completely frank. He went for creation, dropped his building down, and didn't really get anything from it. 0 value, lost all the villagers, and from there he was a little bit lost. This is a different matchup. This is a different sort of thing that he can deal with. Nuwa, a little bit closer on the power scale to Ra in playing like a boomy game, like or a defensive game, or just playing that sort of kind of sit back and wait type game. There's a temple coming up for Suppe here. Sky Lantern in onto this position as well, as we are also going to see that Powerful Chieftain. Now, the question here is going to be, how crazy does Suppe go? He doesn't get himself any upgrades. He's not going for anything. It seems like he's going for a fast advance here, if I had to guess. He's already sending some villagers over onto gold. He's got this Quailfield Chieftain coming in. Matrius, on the other hand, not really known for wild and wacky stuff. He did have a lot of tight build orders in Legacy, but for the most part, his wild and wacky stuff was like, it didn't really exist. It was more he just played ridiculously clean. So he's going to be probably advancing pretty much standard here for Ra. He's probably going to be going into a second town center, and he's probably just going to be taking this game very, very slow here. On the other side here, we've got Suppe going through Hull 2. We've got the obelisk over here coming up. Goat's getting pulled back home. And the game to continue. And it will be Bast here for Matrius. This was something that he also really liked in Legacy as well. I remember seeing him play Ra versus Loki. I can't remember who he was playing. Maybe it was Yoshi or something. And he went Bast versus Loki on Legacy. And it just was like, this is not something you would see. Like, you wouldn't see anyone go for it. And then he did it. And you were like, hang on, wait. No, this is really, really good. And we are seeing the military camp coming down. Suppe is trying his luck at the villager rush yet again. Will get himself up one military camp, and that will start allowing him to start getting some damage done here onto these villages. But can he get around and put another one down is the big question. It does take him a little while to get that tower in, though it's going to be coming through very, very shortly. If we take a quick look at the actual range of it, I mean, I don't think it's quite going to be hitting the villagers. As a machine workshop now coming up onto this spot. Trying to get some damage done over here is the Sphinx going at the military camp. You can just pull villagers up and start shanking this down if you want. Oh, no, it does. It's hitting everyone on this position. It's only got 18 range. It's the same range as the tower, though. But I think it works from the very, very corner of the building. So the actual range of this is like actually quite drastic. Actually, I'm not sure. Anyone know how this works? Is it just from where the tower spawns, or is it the entirety of the thing? Anyways, military barracks coming up. Villagers trying to hold on here. Suppe's now got himself a machine workshop. He's going to be able to make fire archers. It's going to be Sphinx and Spearmen for the time being here. Suppe is out of position a little bit here as the Sphinx now going to be going to town on this military camp. With 4 pioneers, he should be able to take this one down. It might be worthwhile to just send a villager forward and start looking to repair this up. I mean, alternatively, he can just go into a town center here. Look at all the resources in the bank. He's got plenty. He's not spending anything. Is he going to go for advanced defenses? That would be the most ridiculous thing. If he just left one villager here and just put some wall segments down into advanced defenses much later, oh, that would be disgusting. That would be disgusting. Does Sphinx have crush? Yeah, it's got 9 crush per attack, so 6.9 crush per second. Is the Sphinx going to continue to slowly take this down? There is the priest over here to heal up. A great defense here from Matrius thus far, as a town center has been dropped for Suppe here. Did it get buffed? Yeah, all the myth units got buffs to their crush. Every single one that has crush got buffed, I think. Anyways, a villager going to go down? No, not quite. Survives with 3 HP. The Sphinx back in. Saying, get out of here, Suppe. I want to play the game too. Let me play. But already just huge amounts of damage done to Suppe, to Matrius here. As Suppe's now just about up to this second town center. Matrius doesn't see it. He can't know. I mean, it might be obvious with the amount of units that Suppe's got out. We do have a couple of spearmen searching out around the map. Military camp almost down. Pioneers coming through. And it looks like It will fall here. There's also the Pioneer going to be getting sniped, but still, I think this is more than enough damage from Suppe here as you can go into the next part of the game. Whatever he feels like here. You could drop an armory, go heroic age. That's probably the best move, to be honest. Stop building units. Maybe get a watchtower up here as well and just sit on this position for a bit. It secures these sell. Kind of looks like that's what he's doing. He's got 10 villages on food. He's got these villages on gold. But Matrius, on the other hand, he does have one angle here, which is a little bit scary if you're not ready for it. One angle. And that angle is fast heroic through Sekhmet. I say fast heroic. A delayed, very, very delayed fast heroic here. Very delayed heroic age through Sekhmet. One extra Sphinx. He's got he's got one extra Scarab. Build a whole bunch of units, specifically a whole bunch of slingers. And then you just go with Eclipse and see if you can break through it. Meanwhile, Suppe is doing Oh, he worked it out. I was going to say Suppe is doing something that's not allowed. Oh, we are seeing an attempt at some walls up over here, but it does get shut down. Very sneaky from Suppe here to get these walls up, because it just means that, like, if he can just convert them into towers whenever he wants, but it gets shut down a little bit. Meanwhile, the units coming up here. There was must have been an obelisk or something up. Maybe he got lucky, spotted him. Suppe could just do that again, though. Just send the Qualfu hero up there. Is that what he's going to do? Or is he going for a town center? I think he is legitimately sending the Qualfu hero up to do this. Has he gotten himself advanced? He has. No, that's the wrong person. He does not have advanced defenses just yet. It's not going to do a whole lot against the Sphinx, though. Not the Sphinx. The Scarab. Anyways, there's not going to be a Scarab. Matrius is going through Sobek. Villagers coming up to the top here. The Qualfu hero en route. Is he too little too late, though? Matrius, I mean, the thing is, these wall segments finish immediately. Does he see it? He doesn't see it. There is going to be a Migdol stronghold. Is it too little too late? These cost a lot of resources, mind you. Advanced defenses is coming through. Guard towers also pre-queued. Can he get the wall segments up? Looks like the answer is no. He will lose his hero, Qualfu. I mean, even if he gets this through, it takes a while for it to research. Even if he gets this through, I mean, you just build a couple of elephants, no? I mean, advanced defenses is still a really, really good technology to have, regardless of whether or not you're going to be going for this. There's a couple of machine workshops coming up, military camp as well. And as you kill the wall segments, they do actually explode. And they deal damage to every single wall segment around it. Does that say that here? No. When a wall segment dies, it explodes. I think all walls do that as well. These villagers have to get pulled back. There's still no earth wall being put down just yet, but with Golmang in, a couple more machine workshops coming up. I don't like all of these fire archers against the camel riders. Matrius is going to be able to get these raids off. And there is already crenellations, though. I'm actually interested. How fast do these camels start falling here? The villagers just say, let's turn around and fight. He doesn't have himself the upgrade just yet. Survival equipment is clicked up at the moment. One camel rider down for two villagers here. Two camel riders down for two villagers. Is the last one going to get picked off as well? So perfectly defended. As the villagers coming up to grab the granary. There's still guard towers pre-queued as well, mind you, from Suppe. Like, he just wants all the stuff here. He's going to be trying to get himself that vibrant land shaft mine. But Matrius is the one who needs to make something happen here. He does have... what? Well, I mean, this is the problem that Soup's going to run into, actually. Soup doesn't have a gold mine. As he gets pushed back. 0 gold in the bank. Moving up to the top side of the map here. He can sell resources, but no market for the time being. Vibrant Land will be coming in. We see the Eclipse getting dropped. Sphinx coming through here, cleaning up a whole bunch of these human units. An Imperial Academy getting dropped down as, wow, he drops the forest protection there onto a machine workshop. Does get stopped in his steps there as Jiang Xia comes through. No gold costing for that unit. We'll be able to deal with these guys. You see a Town Center coming up for Matrius as he pulls his foot off the pedal. When he basically had Soup in his grasp, Soup's retreating back. He will lose a couple of units here, but he's still up 20 villages at the moment, which is considerable to say the very least. But now Jiang Xia is in. Can come back up to this gold mine. Start looking towards getting himself what he wants. He's actually going to be dropping some more walls here. Ready to set up towers. Amygdala Stronghold coming up in the middle of the map here for Matrius. He's brought this game back a little bit, but he doesn't really have anything going for himself beyond the 41 military that he has. So he needs to do something with this, and I imagine Soup here, as soon as he gets the resources, he's just going to say, okay, we'll get ourselves some more sages out, and we're going to be good to go. Dropping a market down as well. Is he getting these into towers? It's probably not a terrible idea. He still has that guard tower pre-queued. I don't think he wants that at the moment, to be completely clear, but we'll see. There's a couple of, well, a tower here will come through. You can also convert these wall segments into towers as well if you really want to. As the Patsukos, it's going to be a little bit of an issue, but Jiang Xia is in. Getting some decent amount of damage in, but the Chariot Archers are turning onto that one nicely there. Halberdiers defending at the top of the map there. Guard Tower's still not in. He can sell those resources. That's what the market's there for. It's like he's almost going to be able to finish off the Sphinx as well. And Jiang Xia can kind of garrison back, just sit on this effective healing spring as well. But Matrius on 2 town centers. He's still got a long way to catch up, though. I don't know if this is going to be enough. But Soup is taking his time at the moment. It kind of looks like he just wants to get to the Mythic Age here. Building up a couple of units. Now going for guard towers. And Soup basically needs siege. He's going to get a couple of siege works. Might roll into the main base here, which could be a problem. A ballet getting dropped onto this spot just to open up a little bit. Wants to get some White Horse Cav in. You see the White Horse Cavalry, it's a Mythic Age. I don't know. He's still short on gold. Considering he's so far in front in village account, probably not a terrible idea, but he will be getting greeted by, I think, a huge amount of siege. Actually, it kind of looks like Matrius is trying to get Mythic Age as well here. Somehow, some way, after all of the damage, he's almost going to be Mythic Age before Soup is. I guess Soup's been grabbing himself a whole bunch of technologies here. Chasing the sun coming through. And there's the Osiris, though, from Matrius. Very, very interesting here. As we've got 3 Tau Wu coming in, as well as the upgrade Frenzied Dash. These guys take a fair while to actually train, though, which is the difficult part. 40 seconds. I think there's like 20 seconds as well on the Tau Wu. Is that correct? I feel like I should be able to see how long this guy takes there. 20 seconds on the Tau Wu. And the Son of Osiris will shut this down pretty hard. Though there is a timing here for this. 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 40 seconds. That's a 20-second timing. That's a 20-second timing. Frenzy Dash just about to come in. Zhurong also queued up. But basically, Soup needs to go now if he wants value out of these bad boys, no? I don't know if he can go, though. Because there's a Migdol here. It's got so much... Like, there's the military population is actually in favor of Matrius here. There's one siege crossbow. We'll be able to actually take down this siege works, but there's another siege works on the back here. Meanwhile, we've got a couple of cheeky walls up here as well. There's the Mythic Age from Matrius. He's got the Son of Osiris. The secret here with the Son of Osiris is just to creep forward with Migdols. Make sure you're always next to a Migdol. And we actually see Soup saying, oh, not Zhurong. I'm going to change into Golmang here. He dives in with one Tao Wu. He's got these off autocast as well, so he doesn't accidentally do a charging motion there. Really smart. He's just going to be buying his time right now. Biding his time right now for Gong Gong. It's a long ways away, but if he can get there, it's going to be huge. Also, almost going to be able to drop another forest protection, which is huge. If you're going to great flood the army into a forest protection, it's basically all going to die. There's now a catapult coming in. We'll see if these Tao Wu will be able to do what many people think. I'm not actually sure how it works. The siege crossbow is already in. Tries to dodge, not able to, but trades one for one, which is a really good trade. The Pitsukos shut down the siege crossbows. Oh my god. There's I don't think Son of Osiris does get carried away by the Great Flood. He is immune to god powers, so he shouldn't. I'm not 100% sure. As Soup decides to go just that little bit too soon. I'm not sure what he's thinking here. He's got the ballet as defense. He doesn't have to do anything. Just has to wait for that Great Flood. Dives through with one Tao Wu. Coming in with the next one to beat everyone up as well. And then the next one is 10th pin bowling here from Soup. But the bowling ball's got like auto aim. It is still waiting on this one. Just about to hit the Mythic Age himself here. And as soon as he does, he will be dropping the Great Flood. Clicks it in. And Matrius doesn't even want to watch it. He just says, get me out of here. I've had enough. Let's go next. And we get this big rumble of tsunami. Well, that all happens there. An absolutely wild game from Soup with the early tower rush. Not the best of reactions, decision making from Matrius. I think there was an opportunity here for Matrius to basically shut this game down in its just completely shut it down. Answer here for Matrius was, instead of this town center, let's take the villages, take the pharaoh, walk up here, put a Migdol over here onto this spot, and then all of a sudden Soup's got no gold. He has to come over onto this mine, which could just get walled up. The Matrius could have stayed one town center and made Soup's life a living hell here, but did not go for it. Soup manages to win. He's up 2-0. It's best of 5, so Matrius on game point. Gonna have to figure something out here going into the next game. We'll see if you can. If you guys are enjoying, make sure you hit the follow button, and we'll see you guys in the next game. Alrighty, into game number 3 right now as Soup currently 2-0 here. He's one win from taking Matrius out in the left hand of the corner. The left hand corner, we do have Matrius here, this time opting to go in with his Hades. But he's up against Soup. Soup is playing Frere. And that's going to be a thing here on this map, Scorched Marsh. Unfortunately for Soup here, does not get the best spawn of town centers. Goldmine not really close to his town center on the back, so he will have to push out to grab this one. But there are a couple of landmines here for Soup to have to deal with. Namely, a fortress followed by a whole bunch of Petropolis to sort of break through everything. So we'll see if that's the way that Matrius is going to want to play this. Another option here is for Matrius is just to play really, really aggressive. But not just aggressive, but like sort of calculated aggression, so to speak. You're going to have to get into the center of the map so that there's less movement between you and these town centers here. If you can get like buildings set up in the center, then you can control here, you can control here. Even if Soup grabs this gold mine, you don't really care as the Hades, so long as he doesn't grab a town center. That's the number one thing you want to be trying to deny. But we'll see how it's all going to go. Matrius is getting himself up his temple here. There has been... We've talked about this a million times, but you know, every time there's Hades in this game, we kind of like to bring it up. There has been a fairly substantial efficiency boost to Vaults of Erebus in this patch. Effectively, what you do is the first villagers that come out come over onto the gold. You drop a temple as soon as you possibly can. As soon as there's only 2,900 gold left in this gold mine, drop it down, and then you put a couple of villagers over onto wood as well. Only 3 villagers go onto food. And you're able to get your Vaults of Erebus out basically within the first 2 minutes of the game. And you're also able to get a nice classical age as well at about 14 villagers from memory. So a 14 villager advance. And then you're able to drop your town center. Really, really strong. Nonetheless, we will see how things are going to go. Hand axe coming through for Soup. This is obviously something as well that's good for Fret. He can get himself the early upgrades and all the other good stuff. And yes. Now, one thing I guess from the Matrius side of things here is he could try to go for Ares. But he's going through Athena. The reason I say could try Ares is if you go for Cyclops, Hippias, Hypaspist, it's actually a scary composition because the Hippias body block for the Cyclops, the Hypaspist kill the Herser, and then the Cyclops kill everything else. So it does make a lot of sense. Plus, you've also got Pestilence for a stray fortress over here. But Soup's not going to have to deal with that, it seems. And we'll see how he's going to go here as he's now deciding. Ulla, the god of choice. I'm watching this town center here going, you turned off your villagers to get this advance in. It always worries me. Literally always worries me. After the amount of times I've played in these tournaments and just not trained villagers, very, very rarely happens to me in like on ranked games or in customs or anything. But in tournament, your brain is so switched on to like other things that are so much more important, quote unquote important, that you miss stuff like this. Because realistically here, you should have a villager queued up. You just did. You had it. You're not going to go and check it because you did it already. In your brain. You've never screwed that up before. And luckily here for Soup, he doesn't screw it up. He turns on the dwarves. Happy days. So why would he do that? Why would he cancel the villagers? I don't know. If he's going to build a dwarf here, you just want to pre-queue the dwarf because it's not going to slow down your advance. And then you pre-queue the classical age. It's totally fine. As you got the longhouses getting dropped down into the main base here. Already an Ajax through. Got to be careful with that Draugr. If it chases in, it's going to be a dead Draugr. 4.3 speed Ajax is scary. The Hearse are getting pulled back into the main base, sitting underneath the town center. That's going to be some scariness there as the Draugr to pull back. Soup, or Matrius not paying attention, pulls back. He's got his Achilles out already. And we are going to be seeing 1-1-1 here for Matrius. He's going for a stable. He's going for a archery range. He's going for a military academy. As the longhouse will complete on this front, watchtowers now coming through, and that will put a big slowdown on the Matrius aggression in this game. But this is something here that Matrius has not been able to do just yet in this series. He hasn't been able to play an aggressive game. So we'll see if Soup is going to be in his element to sort of defend against all of this stuff. As the longhouse is now coming through. Watchtowers is helping out here as the Hearser are there to defend. Berserk's the unit of choice here with a couple of thrown axemen as well. As Matrius not able to really make any damage happen just yet. In fact, Soup says, I can take this fight. He comes in with the Ursa. The Hippias are there to body block. Nice play. Restoration gets dropped down. That's big. Really, really big for Soup. As now he doesn't have to worry about that. He pulls back to his tower. He turns around. Going to be able to take out the Achilles. The Achilles runs nicely there. Good control from Matrius. He snipes the Draga and gets out of there. Military population about equal here. No healing for either player now, at least until the 100 favor comes in for restoration. Crenellation's on the way. Takes 50 seconds, but only 150 resources. And Matrius is building Hippias here, so this is going to be a huge stopping power of tower here. As the hippopotamus getting brought back in. Unfortunately, Soup not really paying attention there. Doesn't pull them underneath the towers. He will have to take a little bit of a fight. Crenellation's not quite through. Going to be losing one villager. Nice play from Matrius. A second villager goes down as well. As the Hippias also managed to pull out. The timing just barely hitting there for Matrius to not lose anything. He's actually going to be returning back in. But now the Crenellations is through. That's going to be some very, very sore Hippias here. Soup pulls back into the tower. Gets a little bit more damage done. And that's a dead Hippias. That's how much difference it can be between that upgrade and not having that upgrade. Is you can no longer run in. If you run in, you're going to be losing a Hippias, right? So you got to be careful. You can't do that. But now Matrius knows, and he's going to pull back. Soup, on the other hand, says, let me try and get a little bit of aggression in here. There's now Huskal coming through. Huskal going to be able to take out the Toxotes. He's got the Throw and Axeman to take out the Hoplites. The Hippias is sitting a little bit funkily there to try and deal with Throw and Axeman, I guess. But we'll see how it's all going to work as the military population slightly favoring Soup. He charges after a Toxote on the top here. Every little bit of damage here is so big. Soup doesn't really need to force anything here. Realistically, at this point, now he's got a hefty army. He can just drop a town center. Just put more villagers onto wood. And then just wander up to the top, drop the town center. There's no gold mine up here, though. That might be a problem. This one's the one he wants. Nonetheless, the army for Matrius still looking like it wants to engage here. Soup says, my army is very, very powerful. No armory for either player just yet, as the Hippias getting pulled off to the side, trying to get onto the back of these units here as the Throw and Axeman pulling forward here. All the Hersa to go down. This might not be the best engagement here in the world from Soup, as Matrius is positioning there absolutely on point. These Minotaur are going to be tanking so much damage here. The Herdmen are in as well, as those Hippias will be going down, but it's looking like the population for Matrius is standing fairly strong here. It's at 30. Soup losing a lot here on this fight. I'm not sure exactly why he wanted to fight there, but he forces it. Matrius wins that one, and now Soup has to go back to the drawing board. One thing that he does get out of that fight is this technology and an extra Asgardian Bastion very, very shortly. But the problem here is the gold is now gone. So Soup almost needs to sneak up an Asgardian Bastion somewhere. There's a pig over here. He's going to send units up to the top. The dwarves are finishing up. He's moving them away. The army sneaks through. Soup does see that. He gets a glimpse. In fact, Soup can't even get the technology because he doesn't have the gold right now. I mean, he had the gold. 22. Could just stop training those Herben. Sneaking up to the top gold mine here. And now the main base. Under threat. These houses not in the best position. This long house probably will be under the tower, but it's not going to be that much of a threat there. As the Pegasus now out. An armory coming down for Soup. Tower of Cestus does come through. Could be the difference here, to be honest. As a Hippias coming in, a couple of units are already up here to send Matrius packing. Matrius does say immediately, all right, let me get up to the top side. Pumping out everything. He's got his copper armor, weapons, and shields coming through. Matrius, on the other hand, just pumping units non-stop, it looks like. There's a Huskal swing around onto the back. Soup's basically taking a last-ditch attempt at trying to hold onto his gold mine, but I don't think he's going to be able to win this fight. And Soup there does tap out as Matrius gets the dub, and he maintains his position in this tournament. He's going to be able to bring it back by 1 here. This game, though, I just didn't understand what Soup was going for. Like, a completely different angle here. If we take a look before the fight, let's have a quick look at when the fight was. A little bit of a thing. So this was at 8:39. Favor situation for Soup at 8:39 was roughly 24, right? So he needs 50 favor to get that fortress up, that Asgardian fortress plus the upgrade. So what he could have tried is, instead of fighting the army, he could have come forward, sniped these down with his army, sniped these down with his army, sniped these down with his army, kept massing, come over here, drop the Asgardian Bastion, or come over here, drop the Asgardian Bastion. And it would have been the right way to play. But instead, he was trying to force a fight before any of his upgrades come through, before he took big advantages of what Freyr's powerful at. And I think Matrius gets away with it here because he was not getting anything happening in that early game. He got a villager pick, but that's about it. I think Soup was in a good spot. But nonetheless, could not convert. And we got a game 4, which is always good. So we'll see if Matrius can continue this, or if Soup is going to be able to find his win in game 4. Let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, into game number 4. In the left-hand corner of the map, playing as Isis. Tournament life still on the line here. His name is Matrius, but this time he's going in with Isis. Soup on the other side of the map here. Playing as Set. Let's see how it's going to go. Now, this map has historically been Greek only. The reason why I think it's been Greek only in retold tournaments is because most players go, well, why would I use my insanely powerful tournament Egyptian on a water map when I can just use it on a land map and cover so many more weaknesses? But equally, you're only going to get 1 win out of Egyptian anyways. So you may as well use it when you know you're going to find some wins. Both of these players feeling that their best chance to get a win on Mediterranean is with Egyptian, specifically Anubis wielding Egyptian gods. So we'll see how it's going to go. Now, one idea here for both of these players is going to be 3 docks. Drop Serpents as a defense. And just drop a town center immediately. And then you can just pump out boats and start fighting. Or if your opponent's going to do the same thing, you just go to the heroic gauge. Or if they're going to do the same thing anyways, and you can just go, no worries. Let me just drop a couple of docks off to the side here, go heroic gauge, and now I can spam out Leviathans. Or I can even ignore that and just go straight to the Mythic gauge and then drop a meteor on your face. Lots of options here in this map. Lots of options in this matchup. Soup's got the trickiness though. One idea for Soup here could be shifting sands timing. Don't go for the Anubis. Don't fight the water. Rush heroic age. Get some siege towers. Maybe get some spearmen. I don't know. Shifting sands into the Isis base. Sure, there's going to be a monument there, so you can't shift directly onto it, but you can figure out where to go. And you can potentially take it all out very, very quickly. If your opponent's not quite aware. But these guys, they're smart. Soup knows they're smart. He's not going to do anything too crazy. He's going Anubis. Matrius, on the other hand, going a little bit later to the classical age. He's going through Anubis as well. No monument, no granary. Not going to be getting himself the early flood of the Nile here on this map. A little bit too pricey for this one. As the obelisk will go down, and we'll see what Soup is going to be able to cook up here. He's dropping his monument to the soldiers. He's getting himself hand axe. Matrius is getting a few more fishing ships out. Soup looks like he's only got, at the moment, 8 fishing ships. Doesn't go for 9. Matrius says 9 fishing ship is the number. We want that many. As the dock's coming down, we will see immediately 2 war barges to come through here for Soup. He wants the advantage. He wants to force out a whole bunch of stuff here. He drops the vision down. He's searching for villagers to kill, but there's only 2 docks. There's nothing else here. What can he attack? Is he going onto these villages? Probably not. Does he come over and attack this? Maybe. Does he attack this? Yes. There's also going to be more boars getting converted over here to join in, as there is now a cabinet popping out. Soup. Did he cancel the war barge? He's got 1 out now. I'm a bit confused. Was he housed? He's housed. You get a lot of pop here from playing as playing his set. You've really got to get those houses down. There's now some ramming galleys to come through. War barge just pumping everything out as fast as he can. Animals are set back over onto the dock here, as it looks like there is a scary amount of ships. We do see the plague of serpents getting dropped down. Both players with serpents on top of their boats here, as the ramming galleys do manage to get in, starting to take down those war barges. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to call it too soon, but it kind of looks like Soup's just lost everything. Oh dear, Soup's empowering a house. Oh dear. He almost kills the dock off on the back though. Maybe Matrius should just come over and drop another dock over here, but it looks like after all is said and done, there is a significant boat lead here for Matrius. The dock survives. The unit's over here for Soup. Is he going to go after this? The pharaoh now pulled off of his duties of empowering the house. Tries to deal with the Anubite. A couple more boats going to be coming through. All of these ramming galleys. Do these guys just train really quickly or something? They take 17 seconds. Does everything take 17 seconds? War barges take 13 seconds. There you go. The more you know, the stronger you become. Good defense here from Soup. You can't really push into the dock, so some min defending here from Soup might be a way for him to play this. He else try to take out those ramming galleys. Good control from Matrius trying to pull back here. There's a little bit of damage happening up here. It does look like a villager was picked. But Matrius is still just pushing so hard. The dock is going to be a big help against those ramming galleys. But the problem is dealing with the war barges behind all of this. Meanwhile, a ball going down and Soup doesn't want to play anymore. He tries to make it work. I think he just kind of messed up that little bit too much in this one. And a very, very simple win here for Matrius. I mean, this is the thing with this Mediterranean map, and you guys can tell me what you think about this, but it seems so confusing to me when you take a fight. Look, take a look at this in terms of, I mean, I don't really know. There, yeah, this is the military resource value. It's literally equal. This is only boats. It doesn't, like, animals are free, so it doesn't come into this thing. And for whatever reason, like, one player just loses really, really hard. And I don't know if that was just because the boats that were out for Soup with the wrong type. Maybe that was the reason. But he just like loses. And this is something that I've struggled with. I'm just like, sometimes I just win. Sometimes I just lose. And I just go, I don't know. It's a very confusing map. Obviously Matrius' micro is top tier, as to be expected. But nice try from Soup. We'll get into the last one. And we will be seeing a 5-game series after all. We'll see what the 5th game is going to be. I think it's on Midgard. Let's get into it and enjoy. And we're off. Game 5. Do or die. Soup ran to a very quick 2-0 in this series, but Matrius hit him with the old 1-2 straight back in pretty dominating fashion. In fact, I think it was less than 30 minutes ago we were at 2-0. But game 5, and it all comes down to this one here for one of these players' tournament life. In the right-hand corner of the map, spawning as the blue Zeus. His name is Matrius. And in the left-hand side, a man who wants to play Norse but keeps getting abused, to say the very least. His name is Suppe, and he is playing some Thor. Midgard the map. And this is very exciting. Let's talk about the matchup. For the longest time, Zeus, incredibly powerful on this map. However, some nerfs coming in, some changes to certain power, sort of power points, so to speak. He's still good. But is he as S+ tier as he was once? I don't think so. My actual pick here for the best gods on this map is China. I think China is arguably the best. And I think that there is some argument for Egyptian to be taking the reins back on this map that they once had all the way back in Legacy. Maybe we'll get into that another day because that's not what's happening here. But Thor? What can Thor do? What does Thor have? Well, Thor does have one big bonus, which is this god power. And most of the time here, you're going to get to the heroic age before this gold mine expires. So most of the time here, you're going to get 6,000 gold in your main base, which is a big deal. The big problem arises when Matrius is multitasking kicks off. Because that's what Matrius is good at. He's going to raid you with Hippias or Hoplites or Minotaur or Centaur. He's going to raid you at the same time with Pentaconta on the water, with Skylar on the water. And he's going to take map control all in the same breath. He is a monster on this map. But this is a Suppe pick. He picked this map knowing he's playing against Matrius, knowing he's playing against one of the best Zeus players in the game right now. And opting to give that Zeus over to Matrius. This was not a first pick from Matrius in this draft. But we'll see how it's going to go. Fishing ships coming through for both players. Generally speaking, if you guys are wanting to get in on your water build orders and all the other good stuff, these guys are throwing you some very nice build orders here. You can actually download these recorded games. I think you might even be able to download them off aomstats.io. They might be up there permanently. I'm not 100% sure. If they're not, then sorry, but they're on the Discord, on your Destina's Discord. All these recorded games get posted there. So you can download them, you can watch them, you can learn from them. But mostly we're seeing players basically go for 2 docks, a temple, and then advance with around 15 to 18 fishing ships. Nothing has really changed on this patch with regard to what the general strategy is. It's just kind of slowed down a little bit. Kind of. The initial fishing ships. You catch up on the fishing ship production once the second dock is down because you're going to have all that extra wood anyways. There's a temple now coming down, and Hermes, the god of choice here for Matrius, he says, I don't need restoration. I don't need Sarissa. I don't need any of that. And he's actually only got 9 fishing ship. Well, he's getting up for a 10th one here. Matrius does send the villager over here, sees the dock and goes, ooh, maybe not. It's pretty wild. It's a very quick advance from Matrius. Suppe, on the other hand, a very stock standard one. It's like 5 minutes, 15 seconds. However, is this the right way to go? Villager kills are worth more. An early raid, picking off a dwarf, continuing to build fishing ships while you advance here, getting your dock up, taking all those spots while you're putting pressure might be the way to go. Hermes in. It will be Forsetti though. Forsetti's a great counter to Centaur because you can just drop the healing spring down so that it hits your gold line and your wood line, and then that spray of arrows you can just say, lol, I'll just sit here and I'll take it. Passive stance, heal back up, no problems. A Juggernaut coming through here for Matrius. He wants to go quick. He's getting a military academy out here. A la AOM King. This is so AOM King. This is something he would do from way back in the day. I love bringing him up. This is the guy I learned so much from in this game. He would go for this pretty quick advance and he would drop the military academy down while building naval units, and he'd be able to just break you so quickly. But already a longboat coming out for Suppe. And a Drekkie. He can pop the longboat into the dock if need be, but he wants to start getting some damage done onto the Jason. Another dock coming down onto this spot. These fishing ships can bail on this spot, remove themselves over to here. Over onto this side, however, the Centaur, not paying attention to this one, will end up going down. That is such a huge key part of Matrius' strategy here. As the Drekkie now coming over to kill off the Juggernaut, does get bolted. As now we see a dragon ship to come through. Will be enough to take out the Trireme here. The dock, in fact, getting some huge damage done. This will go down, but will it go down in time? No, it doesn't. The dragon ship is up. 3 fishing ships remaining. Suppe to retreat back for the time being into the main base. There is already the Dwarven Armory up. He's going to start getting those dwarves out. I don't see him with a... Where are they going? I don't see him with a flag, so they might just pop out and be idle. Yes, they are. He's got to set them somewhere. He'll pick it up. He'll work it out. Meanwhile, Matrius in the main base. Stables up, ready to start these raids. Suppe, he's making Throw an Axeman. He needs to be making Berserk or Herdman, but he hasn't scattered. He doesn't know what's coming for him just yet. Meanwhile, over onto this side, the Troll getting active. Couple of units to come over here. We'll actually lose that Troll to the Jason. No great control there. Matrius pulling back, trying to get himself to safety. As all the units are pulling back to this dock here. Fishing ships need to start bringing themselves back into the dock to help defend. He's bringing out some more dragon ships to try and hold on here. Lots and lots of damage coming through from Matrius, but I don't think Suppe is really hurting that much here. However, Hippias with Spirited Charge, with medium cavalry. Now the villagers are going to start falling. Suppe not paying attention for the time being. This is a lot of damage to come through. 1 villager goes down. 2 villagers here going to go down. Suppe pulls back into the town center, garrisons everything up. Going to send them back over to the other side. In the center of the map, there has been some Hersa massacre. As these red units need to get back into the main base. And now we see immediately Herdman coming through. But is this what Matrius is planning for? Is he going to go full cav, really? As Zeus? As Poseidon, I sometimes see it. But as Zeus, he does already have a hoplite coming through. There is a Throw an Axeman here that can help out. As the naval units are just going to sit here waiting. Nope, Suppe says it's time to fight. Can he win this fight? No, he can't. He's not going for it. Charging forward, however. Villagers already moving out onto the second gold mine. Matrius got 1,000 gold left in the main base here. 700 gold. There's also all those armory upgrades in. Meanwhile, Matrius is going, all right, time for the heroic age. Hippias raids coming into the top. A couple of Herdmen are kind of in position, but Matrius doesn't care. He's going to come in and just slap them down. With this many Hippias, it doesn't matter. It's a counter unit. Meanwhile, the Jason goes down, but for the cost of 2 Herdmen. These villagers might need a pull. He does get himself watchtowers. Villagers getting spotted over here. Will Suppe just turn and fight? There's so many Hippias at the moment, though. It's not a great move. Now some Herdmen coming out. 2 villagers down. 3 villagers down. 4 villagers down. 5 villagers down. That raid was gigantic from Matrius. Now Matrius going up through Dionysus here. As crenellation's going to be coming in for Suppe. But I was about to say I think the Hippias are done for. We see military academies coming down, but we are seeing a couple more Hippias getting built. Because Matrius now is probably going to think, ooh, let's just go for some Hypaspist. But Suppe isn't making the mistake. He's not overbuilding Herdman at all. He knows what's next, what's coming next. But what do you build? He's going up through Skadi. He's going for Hall of Thanes here. Speedy Infantry is the name of the game. He's got a decent amount of favor to pump out some hill forts to defend a gold mine. Also, he's going to have Dwarven Mine very, very shortly here. Matrius, on the other hand, he could just drop a fortress. He's got so much food in the bank. Drop a fortress and start putting everyone onto gold. Think about going to the Mythic Age here. Lightning Storm could be huge to shut down any sort of heroic age idea that Suppe has. Suppe's putting more longhouses down. A little bit short on gold, but the dwarves moving forward. Economic upgrades here for both players. Not yet getting anything. As the ship's in position. Where's the Kraken at? This is always something that happens to me when you... He's not in the next stage. The myth unit just goes sort of to where you was sent the last fishing ships most of the time. Nonetheless, a hill fort getting dropped in this middle position here. The Hippias dive forward, bait out the trolls. The Suppe pull off here and take this fight. I think he can. He's got so many units. The throwing axemen need to target down those Hippaspis, doing a good job, but the Hippaspis can just clean everything if he gets enough of them. One unit to continue building this hill fort would go a long way, but Suppe opts to just take the fight. He's pumping units out. He is getting himself that Arctic Winds technology for the water here. A couple of units now going back onto the hill fort. 20 seconds from completion. Not wanting to drop the frost here to then have to deal with the bronze. Military differential is favoring Suppe quite a bit. Has the Arctic frost right now, as now he's going to charge forward with the Drekki. Gets a huge amount of damage onto these guys. There they go. You can see them just getting frozen mid-fight here. I think there's like a 20% chance or something. I don't know exactly how it works. 7 times they get frozen. It also slows the units as well as the Kraken up to the top. It's a really, really nice counter to Skylar here. As you can see, he's going to be able to freeze this one up, and then that's going to be a dead Skylar. Love that tech there from Suppe. Very rare to see those unique technologies, but that one's huge. There's now a fortress coming up for Matrius. The fortress is up for Suppe, so the only way to break through this one here is either to get an overwhelming amount of infantry or to start getting some siege out. As the Skylar pops out, the Skylar is now down. The Kraken's still going after all these fishing ships over here. Hippias coming through onto the bottom side here as well. Heavy infantry on the way for Suppe. He's about to see the fortress. The question here, does he want to just get himself some some portable rams out of the hill fort and try and break this? He probably can. Or does he just go to the Mythic Age for Ragnarok and with even more rams? Town center coming down for Suppe. For Matrius here. Suppe here, what's the plan? Houses coming up. He's done so much damage on the water. His food is going to be skyrocketing compared to Matrius here. But the Petropolis is now out. The units are just sort of huddled around this one, going to be taking the fortress, the hill fort out. We are seeing Suppe trying now to get himself portable rams out. Garrisoning these into the hill fort is probably the best move. He's got 2. He's now saying, all right, let's go. Time to charge forward. He does have bronze. Not bronze, frost. He could frost all of this if need be. But Matrius is quick. If he pops out those units, he can just garrison. Is he going to? He's not quick enough. He's not quick enough. Ceasefire gets dropped. Fortress lives for a little bit longer, but Suppe can keep pumping out more portable rams here. He's getting more infantry. He's getting more throw and axemen. Bronze shields coming through. Matrius also gets a huge hit to the economy here with how many villages idle? 20-ish villages here that have... Well, 21 villages that are idle minus 2. So 19 villages working. Absolutely brutal. As Suppe is going to be more than full pop. Frost still lasting here. As the portable rams need to finish targeting off this fortress here. One portable ram goes down, and this portable ram says, I don't want to play anymore. Let me go elsewhere. Bronze gets clicked early here. I don't think that's how it's worked. No, it does work like that. Okay. The more you know. They fixed that bug from Legacy. Love it. But now the Pacifists are out. The bronze is through. Suppe retreats back to his hill fort. He's going to garrison, going to get a huge amount of damage done while this is going on. But the portable rams will get the job done. Suppe pulls back. Will we see another fortress coming down from either of these two players? Mark it up for Matrius. Mark it up for Suppe. You can sell some food if need be. It's Matrius pulling back his portable rams. And we will see another hill fort trying to come up a little bit behind here. Soup knows he needs some of those portable rams. I mean, the other option is to just get Mythic Age, right? If he goes through Rag, he can get himself some Fire Giants. The problem is Matrius is going to have access to potentially Hera, which is going to be something scary for Soup. He doesn't want to deal with that. He's going to want to keep putting pressure on. Another option here for Soup is to drop down some Great Halls and actually go into Great Jarls, which heavy Jarls, which is going to deal with both the Hippias and the Hapaspis. They don't beat the Hippias. They beat them, like, in terms of unit versus unit. They're a little bit more expensive, but still. More buildings coming down for Soup. Soup's in a very, very good position right now. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Matrius' Hippias getting sent around the position a little bit here. A couple more fishing ships going to be coming out as Matrius, Soup says, I'm going to get a dock up. Why not? Get me some more eco. I wish he would sell that food, though. I mean, it's only 55, but he's not going to be using it. On the other hand here, Matrius has got nothing. He's spending all of his resources trying to get to this Greek unkillable blob of units. But now Soup's going, all right, it's my turn to get some villagers. Any amount of villager kills here is huge. Because Soup is so far in front on fishing ships. Throwing Axeman. Getting charged in on by those medium Hippias. Soup trying to shoot and scoot micro here. And now he is going in onto those Jarls. He's got himself 4 great hauls. The Jarls are out. Doesn't have the heavy ones, but they're still going to be really, really good. As the Berserks just charging into the main base, using that speed. Matrius now dropping down to 29 military pop. And in that moment, Matrius taps out. And Soup wins the series in 5 games in stylish fashion here with the Thor on Midgard, using his own strategic ideas here. And he manages to find the dub. Well played, Matrius. Unfortunately, not quite able to make this Hermes angle work. Probably took Soup out of book a little bit here, but the one big thing that happened here, which should get huge value if you're going Hermes against what Soup's doing here, is that Centaur unfortunately dying to 1 Hersa early on. And he just wasn't able to keep that pressure going. Went for a bit of a wonky build order, only 9 fishing ships while advancing. Went for more later, but just you take a look at one look at this and you'll see those resources, they matter. Those resources, they matter. And Soup manages to pull in front and get the dub. Anyways, that's the first of the losers bracket semi-finals, I believe, here. We've got another one to come, and it's going to be Chemo versus Matador. So don't go nowhere, as we'll get that next game started momentarily.